Hi, I'm sure you've already bought something online, right? And one step that you must have already gone through was to enter a page on the internet where a product is presented, where its benefits, features, price, among other things were shown. If you showed interest in the product, you were directed to a checkout page where you selected the payment method, entered your details, and finally made the purchase. This set of information that led you to make the purchase is part of a sales page. Not long ago, most sales pages had a white background with a video player and a call to action button, and nothing else. But a lot of channels these days, such as Facebook, Google, and others, have started to guide entrepreneurs to promote pages with more content and that offer more to the buyer. It is not for nothing that these guidelines exist, as they are essential for your page to appear among the first options in online searches. That's why I'm here with another Hotmart tips to help you create your own page. But it's not just any page we're going to be talking about, but a solid and effective sales page. Follow these steps to make a ton of sales. Oh, but before I forget, I've got an extra tip that's a game changer at the end of the video, so make sure you watch until the end, okay? And of course, be sure to subscribe to our channel and stay updated on what's new in the world of online sales and marketing. Now let's do this! Tip number 1. Get to know your customer. 9 out of 10 videos of our channel have this tip, and we don't get tired of repeating it for an obvious reason. A business can't exist without its customers. Everything you do should be done with your customers in mind. Knowing your audience is a task that requires time and certain procedures. For example, the creation of a buyer persona. A buyer persona, or avatar, is a semi-technical representation of your ideal customer based on a thorough analysis of your business and market research. It is critical to understand what problems your audience faces on a daily basis and how you and your product can help your customer. This study will help you design a more efficient communication strategy. And when you understand who the ideal customer of your product is, you create better content that will relate directly to them, arousing their interest in your offer and, as a consequence, increasing the conversion rates of your business. If you want to know how to better understand your audience, I left here a video that goes further into that. Tip number 2. Create an educational and organized page. Let's go back to your personal internet shopping experiences. What did they have on a sales page that made you buy the product? One of the possible answers is that, even if this was your first contact with the product, after a few minutes of reading, you felt like you knew it well and that you needed to buy it. When that happens after being on the page for only a few minutes, it means that they had great information, it was clearly structured, and that the content about the product is convincing. It's like a recipe. There is a specific order which should start with the necessary ingredients and then teach how to prepare the dish. The sales page also requires a special organization. Let's check it out. The title, also known as a headline, the title will be the first thing that customers will see on your page, so it needs to attract attention. In it, you must highlight the main benefit that your product will provide your customer. For example, if you sell a course about finance, your headline might be, "Get organized and stop losing money." This way, from the first sentence, your customer will see the transformation that will happen when they buy your product. The sales video is one of the most important elements of a good page because it gives credibility to your product, pointing out the problem. Do you remember the title I gave as an example? In it, we've already identified the problem, losing money. But if we hadn't, the time to do it would be now. Perhaps your future customers have never realized that they had a problem to solve. But after seeing your content, they might now be aware of a problem, even if it's not the most urgent one. With the problem clarified, you need to intensify it. The problem was more important than it first looked. This is the feeling that we want to give the potential customer. What we need is for them to put it at the top of their list of priorities. You can answer the following questions to escalate the problem and meet your customer's needs. What happens if you don't deal with this problem now? What is there to be lost in the short, medium, and long terms? How long will it take to recover if they don't solve it now? The solution. Now that we've made them aware of their pain, we need to offer the medicine to cure it. You need to convince the customer that your product is the easiest and fastest solution to their problem. To do this, show what your product is capable of. Make them understand that the only way to solve the problem being addressed is with the help of your product. For this reason, the problem-solution relationship must grab their attention. Authority. The time has come to make it clear who is behind the product offered, an authority in the field. Write about yourself, your experience, and your knowledge. You need to make it clear that you, as the creator or provider of the product, offer credibility that they can believe in. Testimonials. But don't leave your potential customers to only trust you in the process. People want to hear about people like themselves who have already had experience with your product. Social proof, which is the testimony of previous customers, is hands down the best way to convince future customers. This is why you should encourage your previous customers to evaluate your product. If you are starting out now, ask friends or relatives to give their opinions or feedback. But beware, testimonials must be transparent, honest, and written by people who have actually used the product. The benefits. The benefits would be a list of details describing your solution. A frequently made mistake is to focus on the characteristics of the product. Nobody wants to buy a course made up of 20 video lessons with a length of 1 hour and 30 minutes. People are interested in buying an online course, which will give them the flexibility to study at home, offer them consistent and efficient learning, as well as solving their problem. That makes a huge difference in the way your product is viewed, doesn't it? The offer. Summarize the characteristics of your product here. If it is a course, what are the classes like? In video format, a PDF? How much material? How many modules do you have? Also indicate bonuses, price, and payment methods. CTA. A CTA is the call to action. What do you want the person to do after going through these steps? To buy your product. The CTA is the purchasing button and should be clear, consistent with the rest of the text, and well positioned on the page. But don't worry if you can't find the perfect CTA right away. You can always test out different wording, colors, and shape of the button. Keep testing until you find out what converts the most. Put on your page and offer a purchase with a secure way to pay, with several payment methods, such as Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, certified, and with a money-back guarantee. The disclaimer. It is important to make it clear that the results promised by the product may vary depending on some factors. The frequently asked questions. If you thought through your buyer's persona before creating your sales page, you probably also know the questions that might come up. So go ahead and nip this in the bud by anticipating what will be asked and leave your answers. Over time, add other responses to questions that keep coming up. Tip number 3. Have a fully adaptable page for mobile devices. For the first time, internet access on cell phones has surpassed desktop computers. Do you know when that headline is from? 2016. It's essential that your page is mobile friendly. This will also help you better position your brand in search results. Additionally, it can also influence when a user decides whether or not to click on your page. Tip number 4. Let's get down to business. The time has come to put into practice what you've learned. But how? If you're not a professional website designer, we suggest that you find the tools to create landing pages. It's important to point out that I'm not saying that you shouldn't hire a professional, but it's good to know that if you don't have the money to invest right now, you can create your own sales page. In the description, I've left the link to our post with 10 tools to create your landing page without any programming knowledge. Tip number 5, your game-changing tip. Stop suffering. To make your life even easier, I've left here a template with the structure of a good sales page. The link to access it is in the description. And be sure to write in the comments your questions, feedback, and suggestions. Good luck, and I'll see you again for the next Hotmart tip.